So ready for next gen.
This is next gen pickleball.
I'm so ready for the next gen tour.
Super excited about next gen.
I can't wait for the APP next gen tour.
I'm super excited for next gen.
If you like to dink, then Pickleball Magazine has what you're looking for. Our bi-monthly print publication will help you become a better player with instructional tips, drills, and articles from the top teaching pros in the sport. And you'll become a healthier, stronger player with psychological, nutritional, and wellness advice from experts in their fields. Finally, if it's product reviews or the latest news, we have that too. To learn more or to subscribe today, go to pickleballmagazine.com.
Welcome back to the APP SoCal Classic, and we are into our medal rounds. Bronze medal match is coming up momentarily, but first we have the Sunmed recovery point of the day, which happened earlier today.
It's a good one.
We have Paris Todd and Alex Newman taking on Etta Wright and Pesa Tioni. We're going to see Todd and Newman being very aggressive.
Yep. There you go. That's where they
Kind
start
of
moving
kicks
back.
off here. You can see Tioni and Wright get pushed all the way to that baseline, trying to make their way in. This one, Newman lets drop. And Tioni eventually finishes it. What a fantastic point that we saw earlier in the day. And it certainly deserves that Sunmed recovery point of the day. But our bronze medal match now with one of those teams, Paris Todd and Alex Newman on the far end. They take on for the second time today, J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell. The first time we saw them, game one, went to Newman and Todd 11-1.
It was a quick one.
Definitely Johnson and Whitwell they were off. They were off in that first game. Nothing was really working. But then they found their groove in that second game. Kept up that momentum all the way through the conclusion of that match, coming out ultimately on top. So it's going to be up to Todd and Newman now to try and get a little, revenge, we like to say.
Yeah, they were up 11-1, 4-0. And that's where, you mentioned it live while it was happening. J.W. Johnson just becoming way more aggressive and starting to take over. And then they went on a 6-point run that went from 0-4 to 6-4 so fast. Ooh, ITP.
Good attempt there from Todd. But as we also saw in the previous match with Todd and Newman over Brighton and Ignatowicz, they're playing differently than earlier in the day when they took on Whitwell and Johnson. So I certainly might expect to see a different outcome here. But that's all, as it usually does, it's going to come down to J.W. Johnson.
Right. When I would guess he's a little bit upset after losing that winter bracket final to his sister and Dylan. A little aggressive there from Newman. Needed to be more patient. That was not the ball to speed up, way too low, especially against great players like this.
Yeah, you see Todd, they're kind of coaching up Newman there. Both of them playing only a short time. And while Paris Todd has racked up quite a few medals to her name already in the short amount of time she's been playing, this is going to be Alex Newman's first ever medal in a pro bracket. He said in the interview, certainly didn't think it was going to come during mixed.
That's great. It's just the beginning of the tournament for him. So great confidence builder for tomorrow and Sunday.
Oh, a little net cord there up into Newman's upper body.
Sorry, not sorry. Right into the chest.
And while, we have to be objective here in the booth talking about these matches, knowing that it's Newman's first ever medal, it warms your heart a little bit. Gives you some fuzzy feelings. Can't help but feel excited for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Pickleball growth.
Yeah, and then you're, always hoping for a great match and
the pickups that Paris Todd has, I do not understand how she does it. Like, my mind cannot comprehend.
Quick hands, and just, again, an example of Newman getting a little impatient. I think he was hoping for a ball that he could attack, and he sort of committed to it before he realized that ball was really not attackable. And, obviously, like you said, it's great to see new faces. It's hard not to be biased for me since I've been working with Paris, but who doesn't love Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson, right? So you're just hoping for a great match.
I think we're going to get one.
Yep.
Without question.
Ooh, yeah, that's that little flick. It's just, he's one of the few people that can do that.
Yeah,
just taking that flick, and it's just kind of that off speed that we talked about. It's hard to recognize that shot. Yeah, and then he just but now he does a 1-2, right, where he goes for the flick, but he's very ready for that ball to come back. And that's one of the things that we see a lot in the pros. Do we have a timeout called? Yeah, we have a timeout called.
So Monica Stampbeck, our Aussie referee for our bronze medal match, calls the timeout here. And, you know, J.W. Johnson, 19 years old, youngest player on the court right now. But I think people don't really fully understand how much work he does.
Right.
At his age, the commitment that he has to being the best player he can possibly be. You know, he works with a personal trainer like 5 times a week. He's drilling, practicing hours and hours and hours every week. This is his job. It's his full-time job. And a lot of other 19-year-olds that I know aren't doing the kind of work he's doing. So he's very serious about it. And just so much credit to him at that age being, you know, emotionally mature enough to be able to do this and stick with it and commit yourself. I mean, I'm, you know, twice his age, and I'm still like, too much work. So, you know, you got to be willing to make some sacrifices if you want to be the best that there is.
Yep.
And he's doing that.
Oh, yeah. I wish I was twice his age. I'm twice his age plus.
And a little more.
and a half his age plus.
Nice.
Yeah, but, you know,
there.
I think there was a time in pickleball where just simply, I'll wait after this point, but I think it's important. Just miscommunication there, yeah.
Taking that.
There was a time, and there's still a little bit of that right now, where someone very talented can come in and automatically, just based on talent, can make a splash.
Yep.
The time is arriving.
Let's get Newman.
We are in the beginning stages of everyone you face is going to be talented.
Yeah,
now
exactly.
it's a matter of
Talent
who's
isn't all
going
it's
to
gonna-
work, who's
Yep.
going to work hard
Yep.
in between tournaments and dedicate the time to be the best. Talent alone isn't going to be enough. I think we're still a little bit in that time of
there's a little
pickleball
bit,
where talent can really carry you pretty far. But we're not far away from, you know, everybody's going to be talented. That's why they're here.
Yep.
Yeah, great inside out put away there by Whitwell.
And I think interesting enough, I think some of those players have come in, made a splash, and then kind of gone down a little.
Sure.
I think people thought, oh my goodness, like they're about to take over the game, and then their results start to drop off because, you know, talent can make a splash in the beginning, but then talent isn't going to carry you
Exactly.
in such a deep field of talent.
Yeah, one of the things, you know, I work with Mary and Maggie Brasha, which of course are awesome players, sisters.
Love them.
Who doesn't, right? Everybody loves the Brasha family. I'll wait after this point. And one of the things that I shared with them is, I said, look, you're talented. You could be top 10 players, but there are a lot of Mary and Maggies out there that you haven't heard of. They're just starting to play pickleball, and they're going to come in, and they're going to be very tough to compete with. And you know, obviously some of these, we mentioned earlier with Dylan, Maggie is a freshman. She just finished a freshman year in college. So some of them have to have other, you know, they're trying to finish school, so they can't dedicate the time maybe that they'd like to. So it's not a lack of wanting to, but it's just, they just don't have the time.
I believe Maggie is majoring in computer science, I think Mary told me.
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
And Mary just graduated as well with a film degree. Now working for Duper, doing a little stuff.
Yeah, doing a little internship with Duper, social media stuff. Oh, that's a great
nice.
wrap by Newman there. We're going to see a replay here. That ball just too wide from Whitwell. He's patient, lets the ball. He could have even waited a little bit longer. He just skims that post. Gets it inside that line. But yeah, the days of part-time pickleball players in the Pro Tour are coming to an end soon.
Agreed.
We still have some.
Yep.
But it's just, it's going to become where it's not possible, and that is honestly part of the reason that I'm just focusing on what I know I can do better.
You phased yourself out, Daniel.
You know, saw the writing on the wall.
You wanted to go out on top.
You got to have some self-awareness. I cannot compete with these guys on a week-to-week basis. Yeah, good shot there by J.W. Johnson.
Looked like Johnson almost missed that serve wide.
Yeah, it was right on the line. It was right on that center line.
Oh, that was save the moneymaker shot.
It was an excuse me shot that clips the net.
Oof.
And see a replay here.
Let's protect the face.
Yeah, protect the moneymaker.
Wow. Great job by Whitwell still getting to that after she did not think that was coming back.
Right. Again, we see Whitwell.
Threatening that early. Looks like Newman and Todd mixed up their stack a little. Oh.
Yeah, and a lot of times I think she does that to force him to hit the JW, right? So it's less about thinking you're going to get the Ernie
100%.
and more like, okay, now you got to hit it to him. I'm going to force you to hit it middle so that he can come over and take it with his forehand. So that's a big part of her strategy. We talked about, you know, when do you look for Ernies? Usually you want them to look down so they don't see you coming. In some cases, she wants them to see her coming so that it forces him to hit middle. And now JW is just sitting right there on that ball with his forehand. So that's a big part of the strategy.
Absolutely. That came up a couple tournaments ago when we were watching Vivian David and Deckel Barr playing together, because it's very, very similar. Vivian David threatens a lot of Ernie. She certainly can Ernie and but threatens all the time.
Yep.
And we talked about how it's to force them to hit it to Deckel, because otherwise you're trying to keep Deckel out of it as much as possible. Absolutely. Same thing here with J.W. Johnson and Whitwell. You know, Whitwell can Ernie, likes to do it, wants to do it, but you know, she's threatening much more than she's ever going to do in Ernie, and that is absolutely to force the ball to J.W. Johnson and get him involved.
Yeah, and if you're on the other side of that, sometimes you have to try some different things. So sometimes throwing up a lob up that sideline, right, where Lee is just not going to be able to get it because she's so far close to the net, or even going right at her and trying to hit her, which, you know, no one likes to be hit, but sometimes that's the best option. Yeah, that's a good ball by Todd. Really low to Whitwell's backhand there.
Yeah, Whitwell occasionally struggles getting pushed off that line just a little bit, and then when she goes for the straight up dink, leaves it a little short.
Whitwell trying to call JW off of that ball, saying leave it. He chose to hit it.
I almost feel like just yelling no is a quicker, more efficient way, because leave it takes so long, and by the time you said it, the ball's already gone.
You mean like, you should let that go? It's probably not the way to go.
Don't hit that ball! I think that ball's going out. You need like the most compact, precise way to say don't hit it.
Yeah, 2 letters is better than a sentence. It's in.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's a ball. I think he's tapping his chest. That's a ball. He called Todd off of it. He's hitting a low backhand. Not really anything to do with it. Probably a ball that you should have let Todd have. But that's part of the adjustment. And being new to mixed.
Game 1 goes to Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson, so they do not let them take the first game off of them this time. Let's see if they can keep that rolling or if Todd and Newman have an answer here in game number 2 of our bronze medal match here in Pro Mixed Doubles right after this. Game number 2 here in our bronze medal match, kicking off right now. Oh, nice start there for Paris Todd. Don't see her getting too many points just off her serve, but a great start here. Paris Todd and Alex Newman on the near end. First time partnership here today. Alex Newman's second ever mixed doubles tournament. And we've seen them have a lot of success today. A lot of stuff has worked for them. It seems a little bit like Newman's starting to overextend himself a little bit, trying to do a little too much. Let's see if I can settle down here. Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson on the far end. Took game 1 and looking to head to gold.
Yeah, we got Todd on the left side. Yeah.
See, they were doing that at the end of game 1, and I don't like that stack.
They want to check the.
We can't.
Curious if she stepped in. There's nothing. I don't know.
We can't look at it.
Do we have a replay? No replay. Okay. That was maybe more based on reputation for Lee Whitwell than,
you know,
because you know she's going to run through and tries to establish outside the kitchen.
She likes to cut it close. Certainly has lots of clean ernies as well.
Yeah, good ball there by Newman.
What do you think
Jamming.
of the Todd and Newman mixing up their stack and putting Todd on that left side? I don't like it. I don't think it's working well for them.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think when you're losing, you got to try some different things. Paris came over for some advice in between games, and I was less on coach mode and more on commentator mode, so I wasn't looking for those things for her. But I'll wait for that after this point here. I did tell her about, when Lee is threatening, she wants you to see her to force you to hit the JW, so then go cross court behind JW or throw up a lob. Lob's a little risky because of the wind. Very recent. Yeah, it's just so much power from JW. Snaps that wrist. Pace is all about paddle speed.
Yeah, you see a lot of players you don't think should be able to generate a lot of power, but it doesn't matter the size of your body.
Nope.
It's what you do with the way you hit it.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, we see an example there. So it's hitting the ball clean, right, with the sweet spot, but also it's really more of kind of a wrist hand movement where you can move the paddle quicker through the ball. Often a big long swing isn't going to necessarily accomplish that. It's going to bounce back. Yep.
And they got the wind to the back of Todd and Newman right now. Oh, and that's exactly what's going to happen with wind.
Yeah.
So the ball is getting held up a little. So as Todd goes for that overhead, the wind pulls it just out of her sweet spot range, and she ends up clipping the top.
Yeah, because there's no strings. When you swing your paddle, it does push a little more wind into the ball. We're going to go regular stacking here. Oh, yeah, that's a good drive by Whitwell. We've seen that forehand drive a few times.
Nice get from Newman. Oh, that was probably going out, but
good exchange there. Oh, that's good. Good serve.
I liked that whole rally.
Newman set himself up all with the serve. He set up with himself with the serve with a short return, was able to attack that third, and was in great position, but just misses with that cross-court backhand.
Oh, that's tough. Yeah, Newman should have had that.
Yeah, again, he didn't realize how far back she was,
Yeah,
right?
it's tough.
He wasn't looking back and didn't realize she was coming from such a deep position on the court. Otherwise, I'm sure he would have taken that.
And with more experience in mixed doubles, he doesn't even care where Paris is. He's taking that.
Right.
Because he knows she's somewhere in the backcourt.
Exactly.
And he's just going to be aggressive.
Yeah. Starting to see a lot more of the JW flicks there that are so effective. We got another timeout here called.
Yeah, and I think, again, too, what J.W. Johnson forces you to do is you have to be perfect. It seems like everything's coming back.
He is.
It's so hard to do anything with it. So I think Newman and Todd are, feeling the pressure of, okay, we're trying to keep Johnson out of it. But then even when we're on attack mode and firing off overheads, they keep coming back. So then you got to try and get an angle or something really
He's
great,
so
and then
quick.
you make a mistake.
He forces you to kind of overplay him. Like you said, try to be perfect, and it's tough. I mean, it's tough. I played him in mixed at nationals. Me and Mary Brasha, he was playing with Catherine Parento, first round match, and at the end of the match, I mean, I think we were lucky to get a couple points. I was covered in sweat. He still had his warm-ups on. His hair was all disheveled. He looked like he just rolled out of bed. I don't think
that's his always look.
I don't think our match even qualified as a warm-up for him. He probably went to hit a few balls after he beat us to get a real warm-up, because they just destroyed us so bad. But he's just so good. He is. He really is special.
Yeah.
He can do things with that paddle that few people can do.
So let's see if Todd and Newman were able to have a chat during that timeout and try and figure out something that can give them a little success. Whitwell
Lee wanted that one, just
him.
misses with that forehand drive. She loves to beat the guys with that forehand drive.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yes. All right, let's see if they can make a push here. This is just try to narrow this gap. Yeah, just misses wide with that ball.
Yeah, Newman's had a good amount of success with this. Well, he doesn't do it that time, of course. That big lofting spin serve.
Right.
Oh, Todd's
great
into the
get.
fence, but she gets it. I'm really surprised Johnson didn't come back at her with that. Oh.
She's trying to, she's trying to tell him exactly what we just talked about during the changeover. She is threatening for the same.
She's in the kitchen.
You got to go. Yeah, was she in?
Yes, very much so. It's tough. Again, I mean, I feel for these refs.
It's tough.
It happens so fast. You're trying to watch a lot of different things, so I would miss 99% of those without question if I was being a ref. So it's tough.
That was out. That ball's well long. They didn't see it.
Oh, it's so tough. That was like a foot out.
Yeah, that was well long.
We talked about that earlier. Neither of them could turn around
so
fast
hard.
enough. It happened so fast, and Todd thought it was out.
Right.
But again, like it just didn't happen, and then the ref is watching the kitchen line, so she doesn't see it.
Oh, and then you get a miss return.
I mean, that's sports. Sports
It's tough.
for you.
Yeah, and it's tough on the refs because then, they're trying to watch the kitchen line. Oh, wait. They're trying to watch the kitchen line, and then you get a ball hit near a line. They get questioned.
Yeah, a little toe there for Newman, and that's tough because Newman gets called for this.
Right, and then
and Whitwell doesn't.
And it's tough because they're watching the kitchen line, right? But then if a ball gets hit near a line and they get questioned and they say I didn't see it, sometimes people get upset. How did you not see that? Well, they're having to watch more than just the shots.
One pair of eyes trying to look 4 different places.
Exactly. They're doing the best they can.
There's been so much talk about how do you fix that? What's the answer? The line judge debate is most pros, they don't want line judges. I think people think that that's the answer, but they're not going to see it any better.
No.
And a lot of times it's volunteers.
And then when you're playing for money, you can't leave it up to the players to just. I know I've heard that argument too. I've heard a lot of players tell me, I'd rather make my own calls. It's like, okay, yes, if you're an honest person, that's great.
Yeah.
But when you're playing for money,
until there's an electronic system, there will be errors.
The technology is not there, so there's going to be human error no matter who's calling the lines.
Yeah. So I hope in the near future there's some sort of, Hawkeye for pickleball, but
exactly.
Until then, there's going to be mistakes made. It's what it is.
Yep. But it'll come. Just as the sport is evolving, we will get some of that. Ooh, that was a very quick serve by Whitwell. I think she needed to take a lot more time. I know they have a comfortable lead trying to close this out, but she rushed that serve, and I'm sure she would say the same thing.
I mean, they have a big lead here in game 2. I think they're still... Oof.
Yeah. Throw some of these.
Yeah, we got some Beach Boys towels to throw to the crowd in between.
Yeah.
Get out there, Daniel.
All right, I'll do it. Nice. Lee Whitwell trying to do the leg kick. Yeah, and when you're in a tight situation, you're going to go to what you're comfortable with, and Newman is certainly more comfortable with driving versus dropping. Great drop that time.
And And that's what happens. That is such a great rally because Lee Whitwell, watch her as she backs off the kitchen line. Look how far back she is. That's when she makes errors.
Right.
She either puts it in the net or she'll give you a kind of a pop-up.
And it opens up the court.
Todd can keep pushing her back off that line. That really gives them a better chance.
We got a side out. We got another match point to try to go to the gold medal match for Whitwell and Johnson. Yeah, took her time that time, didn't rush her serve. A lot of backspin on that. Yeah. Oh, and there it is.
Oh, good attempt, but
great job.
just too much here as we watch our final rally. Whitwell with the ATP. Good defense there from Newman, but pops it up, and Johnson, easy put away. But first medal in the books for Alex Newman. Bronze medal is how he will end the day with first-time partner Paris Todd. So a big congrats to them. Really, really well done today. But J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell head for a rematch in the gold medal with Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. That's going to be coming your way right after this short break from our sponsors. Don't go anywhere.
If SoCal has you wondering, where do I begin? Start here. Cheering for the visiting team? Here's your line of scrimmage. Come for a culinary odyssey? Tonight's special is everything. Here for work? Hang around for the weekend. Hit 3 theme parks. Crush coffees or crafty beers or whatever strikes your fancy. Because with friendly locals, Main Street vibes, easy accommodations, and all of SoCal within reach, no matter what you've come to get up to, in El Segundo, we'll invite you to start here.
The APP SoCal Classic is brought to you by Pickleball Central, the Pickleball Superstore, catering from beginners to pros. Yola, for the champion in you. Sunmed, the official CBD sponsor of the APP. And Chavile, modern pickleball apparel that reminds people to be civil and play nicely. Our final match in our pro mixed doubles bracket about to kick off to determine our gold and silver medalist. Here today in our first day of coverage at the APP SoCal Classic. We're back tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Pacific time for our men's and women's doubles day. And then 10 a.m. Pacific time Sunday for singles to conclude our first SoCal weekend. Again, we're back in LA next weekend, so please put it on your calendar. Plan to join us next weekend as well. Lauren McLaughlin and Daniel Roditi here courtside, as I mentioned, for our final match of mixed pro doubles. It's the gold medal match, and it is a rematch of our winner bracket final. Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier teaming up to take on Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson. Georgia and Dylan came out on top in the winner bracket final in 2 games. Very nice matchup. Certainly, I said for that match, it could go absolutely either way. Georgia and Dylan just played better in that match, came out on top. So certainly could be a different outcome here, could be the same. We might go to that tiebreaker match to 15, who knows? But we will if J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell win the 2 out of 3 portion of our gold medal match. Since they came through the bronze medal match, that means we will face a tiebreaker to 15. There's that wrist flick shot there from Dylan Frazier. It's a very short backswing. Linda Kirkpatrick is our USA Pickleball Certified first referee for this gold medal match. Adam McKinnon is our second referee. Hiding off camera to the left.
Oh, I was wondering where he was.
I know he's hiding over there. Dylan Frazier. It's too much to handle right there. Yeah, I mean, both Frazier and J.W. Johnson, just some of the quickest hands. That's why when they team up together, they can be a very lethal duo.
Oh, we see a little two-hander there from Dylan.
Yeah, don't see that happen too much from him.
Yeah.
Especially since he doesn't have a tennis background. You
exactly.
don't really see a non-racket sport person using that two-handed backhand.
Oh. A shot at that.
3-0-2.
Oh, so nice from Georgia Johnson.
Yeah, beautiful. And it's
that back corner.
Hits it on JW, which I'm sure there's some added satisfaction there.
Ooh, yeah, that's nice. The first time these two faced off, Johnson and Frazier came out on top 11-9, 11-5. And as Dylan said in their interview, it wasn't easy, but looking at that score, it seems like Frazier and Johnson just handled business.
Yeah, and, you know, scores can be deceiving. Obviously, sometimes there's a ton of side outs and everything's really close, and you know it could have gone either way, even though the score doesn't show that. So that's probably what he felt.
I think he also knows intimately there's no such thing as an easy win over J.W. Johnson.
Of course, exactly. I mean, how could you ever call a win over one of the best players in the world easy? You're just glad you got the best of them that time, and you move on.
Ooh.
0-5-2.
Whitwell and Johnson just struggling to get on the board here in this first game.
A slow start.
5-0-1.
Wow.
Oh, just so good.
Great drive. Whitwell sliding to her right like she likes to do to be able to hit that forehand, but obviously the risk you run is you leave too much court open in the middle. We saw that time.
Frazier does such a great job of he took that out of the air. He had to kind of shuffle a little closer to make sure he took that out of the air, but I think at this level, these players realize if you can take a ball out of the air, that's always going to be the better option if you're close to the net.
Exactly, unless you're overreaching, of course, right?
Exactly.
But if it's within your, we call the strike zone.
I mean, Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier, they are two amazing players, but this is unexpected.
Yeah, they're playing really well.
So good. Have they made an error yet this first game?
901.
I haven't seen one yet.
And they've got
Great
a
deep serve.
couple free points off the serve as well, and it is 10-0. How long has this game been going on? Like 4 minutes? Oh, that one was going full out. That was going to be game one, but Johnson couldn't get out of the way. But they have a second game point opportunity. And that'll do it.
Game one.
Okay, I mean, yeah, this is a very unexpected outcome. But as we see in pickleball all the time,
right?
Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what happened
Means
in game
nothing.
one. This first game, 5.5 minutes, Dave.
Yeah.
5.5 minutes for Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier to take care of business. Game two, coming your way after this. All right, welcome back to our gold medal match here in pro mixed doubles. An unexpected start in game one. Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier take it 11-0 over Lee Whitwell and J.W. Johnson.
Oh, well, back to baby sister there, sending a message like, okay, you won the first one 11-0, I'm coming at you.
And we did see this happen when Whitwell and Johnson faced off against Todd and Newman earlier in the day. They took the first game off of them in one of their matches 11-1. So very deja vu situation here. What did you see in game one was so fast, but what did you see that Whitwell and Johnson were doing, if anything, that led to that result? Or were Frazier and Georgia just playing perfectly?
I mean, we saw a lot of that, right? Just, you know, the right speed ups at the right time. I wish I had something super smart to say, but honestly, it was just so fast that it's one of those where things were not going the way of Lee and JW, and everything was kind of going right for Dylan and Georgia, which could be completely flipped, right? As you said it. All it takes is just get a little momentum, you know, put together, string together 2-3 points, and that can change the momentum completely, which we saw against Paris and Alex. We got 2 in a row there of just the right speed up at the right spot.
It's almost like in game 1, Whitwell and Johnson just didn't even have the time to try and fix anything. It just happened so fast. I think sometimes, I don't know if you agree, there's just some matches you watch, one team, simplest explanation, one team just played better.
Yeah.
They just played better. If you don't have the errors, you just do everything right. What can your opponents even try to do? There's nothing you can do.
And because of the scoring, you know, the side out scoring, it can go so fast. Obviously, as your opponents, if they're stringing together some points on their serve, it can just go so quickly and get away from you so quickly.
Oh my goodness, that sounded like a paddle broke in half when the 2 of them collided. But it looks like everybody's okay. Frazier is just on another level right now with how aggressive he's being. It's a good spot from Johnson. Put it right at that right hip as he was kind of coming over to the middle as well.
Yeah, he slid in, but it was just too far to be able to get that back in on it. And he missed it wide.
Oh, nice crash there from J.W. Johnson. And it's not that he hasn't been doing that. I think he just hasn't had the opportunities. Frazier and Georgia Johnson just aren't letting him get those poaches like he wants to. I mean, look at the hands. Look at the hands.
Yeah.
I mean, J.W. Johnson's doing everything he needs to do. I mean, look at these shots. He's moving it around.
They're doing a great job of going low at Lee's feet, taking advantage when she's not up at that kitchen line and she's back where we see her right now in that transition zone. I think they're doing a really good job of attacking low at her feet.
I don't see J.W. Johnson pull that move very often. He rarely does the runaround to try and take a dink like that with his forehand because he's just so good on the backhand. He doesn't need to, but tried to do a little something different there.
It's almost like he wanted them to think. It's almost like he wanted them to think he was going to run around it and speed it up at Georgia and try to catch him off guard, but just didn't execute, and he was clearly upset with himself.
And again, we do have a good amount of breeze here, but it doesn't seem to be playing a huge factor in these matches. I haven't seen anyone really, mentioning that the wind's been really tough to deal with. Good spot there from Johnson in that back corner. And Whitwell and Johnson finally starting to put a little something together here.
Yeah, again, same thing, right? Dylan doing a great job of countering those speed ups and going low at Lee Whitwell's feet.
Yeah, it seems like just a lot of their success is hitting it at that perfect placement.
Yeah, they're just executing really well right now. And confidence is a big part of it, right? That, you know, having won the first match in straight games, that certainly makes a big difference. It just gives you that confidence and not hold back on your shots, trusting your instincts, trusting your shot selection. Oh, that ball's going out.
Are you yawning over here? Are you? Is it your bedtime? It's getting close.
We're just past my nap time.
That's true. If you missed a nap today,
Yeah,
that's a tough day.
I'm like a baby. You get a little cranky.
I'm sorry, I'm putting you to sleep over here. I need to take up the game up.
You're not.
I'll just like randomly yell really
I gotta grab my
into
Celsius.
the mic. Oh, right off that right peck.
Yeah.
Dylan Frazier couldn't quite get out of the way. Again, Johnson just does that so well.
And it's
He's
so
really good at
quick,
that
it's
flip,
just
yeah.
hard to anticipate it. Oh, the ball right on the line.
And
Yeah.
again, to Whitwell's feet, because she's right in the middle of that transition zone. Is that if you're watching someone and they're kind of struggling getting caught in that area? Oh, off
Hits his hand.
Do you tell them they need to focus more on getting up to the line more, or maybe stay back more if you need to? How do you change people that get caught in that transition zone?
Yeah, I would say usually it's going to be moving up rather than holding back. And she may have her reasons as to why she's going there. Maybe, again, as we talked about earlier, wanting to give JW space to come over, as she knows that right now that they're down one game and, you know, pretty tight in the second. She knows he's going to want to get really aggressive, and so maybe that's her thinking is, I want to give him space. Oh.
Look at Georgia Johnson just handling it
Yes.
as Big Brother
like, bring
is
it,
just
brother, bring
trying
it.
to bring the heat. And I mean, they play together
All the
every
time,
day, I have to
yes.
imagine. So she's more than used to it. I mean, if I might be so bold to say, Georgia Johnson is as good as she is because her brother's one of the best players in the world, and she gets to play with him all the time.
Yep.
Nothing's going to get you better
Right.
than playing with the best.
Right. I would think that's going to benefit her more than it's going to benefit him. That's just, you know, typically that's the way it works. And I'm sure he's happy to make her better, except when he's going up against her.
I know, right? He's like, these are the times
Yeah.
I wish we had not played so much together. But we have a timeout here in our second game as, again, Whitwell and Johnson are going to have the ball coming out of this timeout, but they're trailing by 2 in a must-win situation. Not only must they win this game, but they must win the third as well if they go to that. And then they must win a tiebreaker to 15 if they want that gold medal. Otherwise, it's going to Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. So certainly at this stage, anything could happen.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I
much
think
too early to make any kind of
Right.
predictions.
Right. Yeah, I know when you're coming through the winner's bracket, I think that first game is so key because, you know, if you get that first game, whether it's 11-0
Yeah,
or
the pressure
16-14, now you know they have to beat us 3 times in a row, which is really hard to do.
Yep.
3-5-1. Second serve. Three, 5-2.
Ooh,
Rare miss there.
yeah.
Been
playing
pretty
so
much on.
cleanly.
Yeah.
4-5-2.
runs in the family. That's all I can say. I mean,
5-4-1.
Very impressed with Georgia. She's playing so well.
Finally, a
We
smile
got a
out
little
of
smile
JW
there,
Johnson
yeah.
here.
Yeah, as she's moving back, he notices that and goes behind her.
Oh, Frazier, nice read there as Whitwell tries to inside out down that sideline, but he's ready for it. And again, these 4 players, they play together, they play against each other all the time. So Frazier knows what Whitwell's trying to do over there.
Right.
He knows the thing she's looking for, and he's trying to close all of those options off to her.
Yep.
Which turns your opponents into a bit of a desperate situation when nothing's working.
8-4-2. Side out. 4-8-1.
Oh,
I think we might have a warning coming.
well,
No.
we could have, I think.
Looked like Linda thought about it, decided against it.
Yeah, it's a little subjective discretion
Yeah,
to the
yeah,
refs.
that's
so
fine. It's a good
Whitwell
no call.
obviously-
It's a good no call. She's not known for her temper, so
Yeah.
it's okay. If she does it again, though, I'm sure we'll see a warning, but I think it was a good call there by
8-2.
our referee.
Side out.
We talked in their interview after the winter bracket final that match was the first time Georgia Johnson has ever beaten JW
Oh, really?
in tournament play.
Oh, I was wondering about that. I was wondering if it happened before.
Nope, first time ever.
Fun fact. Not fun for JW, but fun for Georgia. Yeah, they're just, I mean, they're playing so well. There's not a ton you can do when someone is on like that. They're hitting their spots.
I mean, they're still on first serve, and they got 2 points to go for a gold medal, just straight up. So far, haven't lost a single game to Whitwell and Johnson in the 2 times they faced off now today, including this match. We'll see if they can keep that spotless record.
There's a lot we were talking about.
Come on, Dylan Frazier. This is some of the best pickleball I have seen him play. He is so good, but this match specifically is next level for
Yeah,
him right
he's
now.
He's
He's
playing,
playing
so well.
good. Come on.
That is
Georgia
it.
Johnson, Dylan Frazier.
That's great, yeah.
They went for the high five.
It was
Wait,
like
high
it was like a Tiger Woods
that
high
was
five there.
amazing. Wow.
That's great.
I mean, what a gold medal match. Congrats to Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier, our gold medalists here in Pro Mixed Doubles at the SoCal Classic. Big congrats to silver medalists J.W. Johnson and Lee Whitwell. I'll head to the Franklin studio one final time before we sign off for the day. And then again, back tomorrow, 11 a.m. Pacific time for our men's and women's doubles day. A big shout out, of course, to Pickleball TV, rocking our production here, Spencer Laurent and Mitch DeVoe. And of course, Daniel Roditi here in the booth. We'll be back tomorrow, though. Don't go anywhere. We got our interview, and then we'll see you tomorrow morning. Welcome back to the Franklin studio. One final time, Laura McLaughlin here with our gold medalists, Georgia Johnson and Dylan Frazier. Had to face off against Lee and JW twice today. Did not drop a game to them. So that's got to feel pretty good. This is the first time you guys have played together in a tournament.
Yep.
What do you think made this partnership so successful today?
I think we have good chemistry. Like we get along really well, and we both have quick hands, and we're not afraid to utilize them and set each other up. So it worked out great.
I mean, this is the first time you've beaten JW Johnson in a tournament earlier, you said, and you also beaten him at MLP, we'll just throw out. But certainly the first time you've medaled against him in a gold medal match and come out on top. I mean, we talked a little bit about in the booth, but do you think it's a bit of an advantage that you get to train with your brother, who's one of the top players in the world, and he helps make you this good, so you're one day able to take him down?
Well, yeah, but I think it works, both ways. Of course, if I'm learning his game, he's learning mine, and, it just depends on the day, I think. He's obviously an amazing player, and it's not always going to be this way, but I'm glad it worked out this way this time, for Dylan's sake.
I love it. Well, I'm sure you guys will be all at dinner tonight, having a good time. You guys are very good friends as well. But, I mean, anything else you just want to add after your beautiful gold medal run today? Any shout-outs to anybody?
I'll give a quick shout out to my sponsors, Onyx and Chicken and Pickle. Thanks for providing me the gear I need to be successful in the sport.
I would also like to shout out my sponsors, Day One and Chicken and Pickle. Thank you so much. You guys support me in all of my endeavors, and I'm so grateful to have you.
All right, so let's bring in Ken Herman, who has an appropriately sized trophy here for the APP SoCal Classic.
They're all getting too big.
I know, we're taking it down a notch.
Georgia and Dylan, wow. American pickleball for our next generation's in great hands. These guys are just riding the wave. You guys just played lights out all day today. Congratulations on just a flawless performance all day today. Georgia, Dylan, you guys are great champions, and we welcome you all. I know your parents probably back home are watching. Your family's up there cheering you on, but American pickleball is in great hands with these two youngsters coming up. Congratulations.
Absolutely. Some of the best pickleball. I'll help you guys here. All right, well, congratulations once again to our gold medalists, Georgia and Dylan, and, of course, our silver medalists, Lee and JW. We're back tomorrow morning, 11 a.m. Pacific time with our men's and women's. We'll see these two again, but not on the same side of the court. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you tomorrow. Have a great evening wherever you're watching from, and, yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Bye, guys.